Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing quite a highly requested one. If you guys remember, I did a 5 sustainable swaps video. I will link that up there for you. And I mentioned I wanted to talk about fast fashion, so that is what we are doing today. I really specifically wanted to do this video as well, knowing that my audience is primarily very, female and, young as well, so I've got, I don't know, I feel like a bit all over the place, so I'm terribly sorry if that reflects in this video, but I really wanted to do this video because I know a lot of you guys will know what I'm talking about, understand that, and you really are the ones who can make the biggest difference. Like realistically, we are the worst offenders of fast fashion. I mean, think about your favourite shops, ASOS, Forever 21, H&M, Topshop, Zara, like, we've all shopped there. So I thought it was really worth speaking to you guys, because a few thousand of you might watch this, so even if each of you make one small decision of maybe you won't buy that top because you know you don't actually need it, I feel like me making this for you guys has an impact, which is quite cool. So because you can literally write a book on this topic, I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible. We are just going to discuss what fast fashion is, why it's a problem, and how you can avoid it and try and change your own mindset towards buying and especially consuming fashion. I'm filming this quite late, so I'm gonna adjust for brightness as we go along. As always with these kind of videos, I will link down for you below a ton of further reading, articles and videos that you'll find really useful if this is something that really interests you and you want to know more. So fast fashion is a term that has started appearing the last few years. It is essentially the very, very, very rapid turnover of clothes we see a lot, especially trends. The entire fast fashion business model is low quality, high volume. Basically selling you as much crap as possible. The biggest offenders of this are, big high street retailers. Think about Oxford Street, just walk down there, it's basically every shop. With trends especially, we're being encouraged to buy new always and buy to, stay ahead of the curve and to feel fashionable and fancy and all that kind of stuff, and really to buy as much possible, especially because it offers look how affordable this is, when in reality it's more buy this cheap crap. I think especially nowadays with internet shopping, it is so easy to get caught up in it. How easy it to just add more and more and more things to your ASOS basket and then let it be shipped to you. It's painfully easy. If you're buying things online, I feel like you don't have the same judgment because you're not trying on clothes, you're not touching them, you're not feeling them, and also then when it arrives to you, you kind of feel like it's already mine, and then you're less inclined to send things back. So I think that also adds to it, especially in terms of the sheer volume that we buy. It just massively encourages consumerism. YouTube as well is a bad offender for it, because think about haul videos. Basically you're being shown that somebody has bought a bunch of crap to encourage you to buy the same bunch of crap. And I know they're really fun to watch, but how often do you walk away from a haul video not wanting to buy something? I have no idea when the last time I did a haul video was. I'll put it here for you because I'm actually quite curious. It's been years, because I just don't buy very much, and realistically the only situation in which you can be to buy loads of stuff is if a lot of that stuff is very cheap. And then it basically is the definition of fast fashion. Trends are essentially designed so things go obsolete. The whole point of it is almost to keep things going. I know it's fun and fashion is lovely. I've been buying Vogue since 2012. Believe me, I know. But the problem is very specifically high street retail. Just the sheer volume of it. Especially with Instagram as well. Did anyone else get traumatized as a child by the whole, well, I count myself traumatized, but this whole Lizzie McGuire thing of outfit repeater. That's internally ingrained in my mind. I'm but washing machines exist, but okay, we always have to have the newest clothes and you cannot wear the same thing twice. I have some quotes for you, and okay, these are from Wikipedia, so take that as you like, but they summarise this entire thing very well, and then we shall get going talking about what's the problem. So, the business model of fast fashion is based on consumers' desire for new clothing to wear. In order to fulfill customer demand, fast fashion brands provide affordable prices and a wide range of clothing that reflects the latest trends. This ends up persuading customers to buy more items, which leads to the issue of overconsumption. In recent years, the fashion cycle has steadily decreased as fast fashion retailers sell clothing that is expected to be disposable after being worn only a few times. This dramatically shortens the consumer's buying cycle. The quick changing stocks and low price of fashion goods encourages consumers to visit the store and make more purchases more frequently. As a result, the excessive stock and untrendy clothes tend to end up in landfills. So you see now why this is a problem? I will leave that quote below because I feel like you kind of need to digest it a little bit. So one of the big problems with fast fashion, as said, is overconsumption. It's not just of course I understand that affordable price clothing can be a really good thing. The problem is we buy too much of it. It's because it's cheap, we think, okay, because it's cheap, it means I can buy more of it, when in reality we shouldn't be doing that at all. Think about how easy it is to go for some retail therapy. Even the entire concept of it is so bad for us. Like, why do we initially think like, oh, I feel bad, I feel sad, I'm gonna go buy stuff to make myself feel better? Why is that one of our go-tos? Just the mentality of like buying stuff makes you happy as well is so, it's so financially bad for you, but then also you're looking for things to replace actual like fulfillment and happiness in your life. Obviously that's not to say that I don't buy stuff to make myself feel better, but I'm trying to control myself. And also we all know very, very much, even if we don't want to admit it, that fast fashion and sweatshop labour are very, very closely connected. And I know that big brands are like, oh, we make sure we don't use sweatshop labour. I'm like, I don't think that word means very much, to be quite honest, especially when it's so difficult when clothes are being made in other countries to regulate that. So I'm very skeptical of it. Any kind of like fast fashion item really is like, it's made badly, it's not designed to last you, which again is why it's so cheap. Just think about it, when you're buying something cheap there is basically always a catch. When you buy cheap clothes, especially trendy ones, you view them inherently as more disposable than anything else, because you know its value is low, its worth to you as a person is also then incredibly low. If you know something was expensive, you treat it differently. And then the problem when you dispose it, as I said, is it ends up in a landfill. Just think about your clothes and your wardrobe in terms of volume, in terms of how much of that is going to end up in a landfill. A lot of these clothes then, because they're cheap, are made out of synthetic materials that do not decompose. If you buy something cotton or linen, eventually those things will decompose. Plastic doesn't. It's plastic. And in fact, a lot of us are so used to buying things and not checking the label. If the one thing you take away from this video is from now on you look at the label before you buy an item of clothing, it will honestly change how you think about clothes. I started doing that a few years ago, and then you realise how rare it is to find something that's not, you know, plastic. Also, they like to rename plastic so that you think you're not buying or wearing plastic. So here is like a nice list of some of the fancy words we use when actually you're gonna put plastic on your body, and that is not something you should be doing. It's bad for you, it makes you sweaty, it's horrible. Also, the production process of these textiles is really bad. It damages communities in which, you know, these things are made, and then it damages your body, and then it damages the environment. So every step of that item of clothing's life is just inherently bad for you and the planet. Cheap clothing is just not designed to last you. People are expecting you to treat these clothes this way, and that's why essentially you allow them to keep selling you cheap crap. And like about overconsumption, the one thing I keep thinking about is when I was maybe 14, 15, one of Georgia and I's favourite things to do would be we'd get £30 and then we'd go into like our nearest big city and we'd just go and we'd shop. Obviously they were wonderful experiences for me, but it's just, we'd always come back with a massive Primark bag full of crap. And I do mean absolute crap. I don't think I own any of it now, and anything I do own, it's just because I look after my things very well. It's something I'm very, very proud of. So believe me, at home there is going to be a massive like trunk full of like just, especially sunglasses, just like complete, it's crap. You buy it because you go, ooh, you know it's cheap, so you don't think anything of it. You don't think of the consequences of you actually doing that because like it's cheap, it doesn't matter. But the fact is, cheap items do matter because, you know, pound per pound, they have a big environmental impact. It really just feeds into human like greed. Isn't that horrible? Think about it. Shops like that, all they do is they target on this like almost primal like greediness and like lust for just new things, and it's kind of gross if you think about it. You're just being exploited. Bear that in mind. How many things in your wardrobe can you say that you genuinely have never worn? I am very conscious of this, and I still have things in my wardrobe. It's like, this is my wardrobe. I can say there are like hopefully only 1 or 2 things in there that I know I have actually never worn. And I try really, really hard not to do that, but I still end up doing it, and that's so bad of me, and I always hate myself so much for it, but it happens. And the fact is, then I'm worried about people who don't think about it and who don't care, and how like bad they are for that kind of stuff. It really worries me. Honestly, I'm telling you, go to your wardrobe. How many things have you never worn? Like, you'll have something. Then I always think like, why did I buy it? Why did I end up buying this thing that I've actually never worn? As the consumer, we have to be the ones to fight against this. It's a business. They're gonna try and sell you as much stuff as they possibly can. That's just how a business works. I get it, but we have to actively fight against it and bear it in mind. Like, they're not our friends. They don't care if we feel pretty in these clothes or not. They just want you to buy it. Okay, a quick recap of why fast fashion is really bad. The environmental impact, for the entire duration of that item of clothing's life is pretty bad. The consumerism it encourages us is really bad. The overconsumption particularly. And the way in which it makes us treat our things, especially just clothes. I'm looking more and more washed out as this video goes on because I'm having to, you know, increase my exposure. It's like 9 o'clock. Right, so how can we like avoid and like not partake in fast fashion, and how do we like reduce our impact? How realistically can we try and avoid it? Because chances we're not going to stop shopping these places. I certainly have tried to avoid them as much as possible, but my favourites still are Urban Outfitters, even though they're not too bad for this. Zara literally basically invented fast fashion. A lot of people have argued. And then Brandy Melville is actually another one of my favourite shops. So obviously it's not that I'm like being all high and mighty being like, oh, I can't believe you shop there. That's not the point. That is absolutely not the point. The point is we just buy too much. And I've been actively trying to not do this for a really long time now, and I actually got one of the biggest compliments ever, I think, in regards to it, is that my friends Ellie and Mira actually noticed like, wait, you don't actually buy very many clothes, because we were having this discussion, and I was just so flattered. I was just like, oh yeah, I try really hard not to buy clothes. I think as well that one of the reasons that I'm able to go so long without buying clothes is like, A, I look after my shit pretty damn well. I'm very proud of this, as I said. It's something I've always done, like even as a child I was very good at this, which in turn means I can always buy more expensive things, knowing how long they will last me. But also I try really hard to like work on my sense of style. In terms of your personal sense of style, I try so hard to like, so okay, let me rephrase. If you were to ask me what my sense of style I thought was, I would basically try and say classic. I'd be like, no, I have such a classic sense of style. But what I mean by that is that I don't like follow trends. Not in like I don't follow trends, but in like I don't follow trends because they're very volatile. Like, I don't want to buy something and then think, wearing it later, like, oh, people are gonna know that I bought this like last year, like last season. People know how dated your clothes are. Dated, that's the word exactly, isn't it? Like, you don't want people to know that you bought this a while ago. I gave in recently to a trend. It really annoys me now that I think about it. I bought like, it's basically like a black pair of leggings, which obviously is fine, but it's, you know, with like a red stripe down the side, and I know loads of like, that's been the thing recently, is like trousers with like stripes down the side, and like I bought it, and like I know it's not, and yeah, from Zara, that's my point. And now looking at it, I'm like, why, realistically, why did I buy that? What is the point? I'm just so like irritated at myself that I actually gave into a trend. And okay, yeah, the high and mighty kind of feeling of it also is there. I'm not gonna lie to you, I do feel a little bit superior because I'm like, I don't bow into trends. Okay. Not the fucking point, but I know you do all secretly feel this kind of things. But I try not to do that because the fact is then people don't notice. People don't notice that I've owned tops for literally 4 years. There is this one top, this one, I have literally owned that for 4 years, and I still get comments being like, oh my god, I love your top, where is it from? I'm like, ha! A, sorry, I can't link it. Now, YouTube, like, you can shop people's wardrobes. It's like, it's so weird. But the thing is, like, people ask me again and again, where are your clothes from? And I'm like, yeah, a while ago now. And that is always what I reply, and it makes me really happy because I'm like, you can't click and buy it. Like, that's not, even that in itself, think about it. You're asking and you're expecting to be able to be told where you can buy something. You saw something, you liked it, now you want to have it. Isn't that an item like that, and basically my entire wardrobe, like, it works very well together. You should make a point of trying to buy something with the rest of your wardrobe in mind, because then you're not going and buying something going, oh, I can make this work. Because if you've got to think about that, honey, you can't make it work. Don't do it to yourself. Buy things knowing how it's going to look with the rest of your wardrobe. Buy things knowing, you know, what looks good on you in terms of shape and your colouring especially. Anna Sacconi, I'll link it down below, did a video on like how you have to like, you know, buy things for your colour. I'm like a hard autumn or something. I'll put it here. But I looked at that colour palette and like, I buy these colours anyway. Like, if you know what looks good on you, you know how to like match things together, then everything will always work and look good. And that also means that you don't feel like you need to buy an entire new outfit to make one item of clothing that you really specifically wanted, like, to make it look good. I think one of the best things to do when you go out and shop is like, go out only when you have something very specific in mind. When I recently bought something, as much as I said it was retail therapy, I really only went and shopped because I wanted to, but what I did was I bought a sports bra from Sweaty Betty, a grey one, so it will go with everything I own, and it's something I needed. It's been on a list. I make lists on my phone. do yourself a favour and make a list of something you want. If it stays on there for long enough, then you may as well go and buy it because you know you really want it. And I also bought a pink top from Brandy and a white sort of off the shoulder one, which is similar but not similar to one I have. It's not the same thing, but I basically bought this cute pink top in the same cut of this lilac one I have, so I knew it would look good on me, and it's baby pink, so I also know it'll work with all of the colours in my wardrobe, like that kind of mixing and matching. It is kind of the same principle as having a capsule wardrobe, but like without that much commitment, you know? It's just something we need to do, you know? It's like if you see something, you've got to think about how it's going to work with everything else you own. The amount of times I've not bought something because even if it was cute, I'm like, yeah, but how the fuck am I going to wear that? How am I going to style it? How is it going to work with everything else I own? And if I know it's just a bit too, it's not that I'm like not going to be like, no, I don't want to say if it's like a bit too out there, but like if it's something I know I'm going to wear that once. If it's something I know that is gonna like, yeah, okay, just because something is gonna look good on you doesn't mean it belongs in your wardrobe. Like that is what borrowing your friend's clothes are for. But like as I said, you should make sure that you don't buy something as well that's very like, that is more out there and then think, you know, I'll find an occasion to wear this, because if you have to tell yourself I'll find a time to wear this, you won't. Believe me, you won't. I've been there. It hasn't happened. Basically, the way to summarise that is don't impulse buy. If you buy something after you've had it in mind and you've wanted it for ages and ages and ages, seeing it, buying it and having it, that is the best feeling. When it's something you've been on the hunt for ages and ages and ages, it's so great. Instead of like seeing something, wanting it, buying it, like the feeling of satisfaction does not last very long. So really like hunting for something forever is the best feeling. When getting it, you're like, yes. So one of the main things I guess in terms of like trying to avoid fast fashion is to invest in your clothes. And I know it sounds stupid being like, invest in your clothes, but I'm telling you, invest in your clothes. Realistically, we should all buy more expensive for the core items of our wardrobe, you know, for really important bits. If you buy more expensive, you're buying better quality as well. You need to remember that in the long run, these things will actually cost you less money because you don't find yourself needing to replace them. I think one of the things I'm struggling with, you know, becoming an adult and stuff is like the reality of sometimes you have to pay a bit more up front for it to be cheaper in the long run. And I think that is one of those things I'm like slowly trying to get my head around. And realistically, I think it is a much better option because also if you buy more expensive things, you treat your things much better and it makes you happier and you value it a lot more. Not that things make you happy, but we know that sometimes they just have that level of satisfaction that other things just don't. If this is something you have a bit of trouble grasping, the best thing you can do is probably break it down by like cost per wear. If there is an item you're gonna wear an awful lot, invest in it. That is the best thing you can do. I will case study. I have an example for you. These two pairs of sunglasses. This pair of sunglasses I bought in Spitalfield Market a few weeks ago because they look so great. Bang on trend, and they were like, there's no label obviously, and they were like £6. You know, you can just like, you know, and you just like, you can just hear this, that is cheap. Yeah, I bought these because I was like, they're cheap, you know? It's trendy, it's like a play item. But cost per wear breaks down like quite low with these. But these ones, I promise you, cost per wear is a lot lower than these. These are Dior and I absolutely adore them. I saved up for these for such a long time. Oh my, you just make me so happy. It's dumb, but they do. From my grandparents, my godparents, you know, family in Belgium, I get euros for my birthday and stuff, so I saved them up. I think for a few years actually, because I knew that I wanted an expensive pair of sunglasses. That's really what I wanted. I bought them 2 years ago now, and they make me feel so fucking fancy. It's fantastic. So the difference, these are about, I think they were more than 200 euros. I can't remember what I told my parents, but I told them something different from how much they actually cost. And these were £6. But I already just know how much more I do value these than these. And the fact is as well, like, as a result, I take so much better. Even me just here right now, I can tell you how much more gently I'm holding these than I am these, even though they're both bits of plastic. I've just dropped that on the floor for God's sakes. And these companies also have a lot better customer care. You can take things back if they're broken. Like, it's just a lot better all around. And the fact is, because I've had these, I haven't wanted to buy other sunglasses. I haven't really bought, this is the only pair I've bought since I bought these 2 years ago. and I'm really proud of myself for that. Like, think about it, if you buy like a 20 quid pair of sunglasses every year, you may as well have bought, you know, one really nice pair that's gonna last you over a decade, defo. So for me anyway, these were a fantastic investment, and that is exactly what I consider it to be, an investment. Obviously, I'm not saying that you need to go to like this extreme to try and foster that kind of mentality, but like that mentality really is what you should be after if you're buying an investment piece. Really buy something that you know you're gonna wear so much, that you're gonna love to death. But like, you know, that means so much more to you than like the 6 quid pair you bought on a whim just because you look cool. Yeah, again, classic style. Emma will eventually look like a twat wearing these style. Obviously, it's completely up to you in terms of what you would count as like something worth investing into. I personally would also count handbags, coats and stuff. Like that handbag is from Dax. We bought it at a design outlet store. Oh Christ, it was like 20% of its retail price. But then like I looked up the retail price online and was so pleased with how like much cheaper it was that A, that aspect was there for me, but then B, I treat that handbag like at its like, I treat it as if it is its retail price, if that makes sense. Okay, not that it was cheap to buy, but like I don't treat it like it's cheaper than it would be had I bought it full retail. Like I've had that bag for shit. I've had that bag for maybe 5 or 6 years. I've had that bag for a really long time. You look at it as well, because it's such good quality, it always looks brand new. Like I can never understand how that bag looks so fantastic the entire, right, I'm gonna show it to you. Look at this bag, so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I still have the dust bag and everything. It makes me feel really happy. As you can see, yeah, it's completely neutral colours and stuff. It looks so fancy, just look at it. But like I had a, this is from Lush. Who needs an Hermes scarf when you have a Lush thingy? And like, it just always looks brand new. I just can't get over it. It's just such good quality. It goes with everything I wear. If you invest, I just had it for such a long time. I love it so much. I didn't pay full retail. It's neutral. It's like the epitome of what I mean by like choosing an investment piece. I'll try and find some like articles and videos maybe that would like advise you on how to get like an investment piece and what really is one. I definitely think that's like more the meatier stuff covered. So let's just, here's a quick fire round. Like try and borrow as much stuff as you can from like friends and like siblings. Again, think about cost per wear. That is like, try and break that down for yourself. 2 takeaways from this video. Check the label, cost per wear. Also, this is a really important one. Repair, don't replace. Buy a fucking sewing kit. Like, there is no reason why you can't just repair your clothes. And the problem is, if we see them as more disposable, we think it's less of an effort to go out and buy something new than just, you know, sew the hole in it. Both my grandmas are really good at sewing and they have all those skills. And I'm like, I don't. I'm like, I feel like a potato. It's really stupid. You can buy a sewing kit for like 5 quid. And you know this whole like tutorial thing YouTube has? We've got no excuses for not being able to just quickly like sew something shut. Also, when you do that, I'm telling you, the feeling is so satisfying. Donate clothes. Mum and I, about a year ago, cleared out my wardrobe at home. It's a very big wardrobe. We maybe donated like 80% of my childhood wardrobe. I was very, very happy with that because the fact is all of those clothes now are gonna get a new lease of life, and then also, you know, you're not adding to a market. Someone is buying something secondhand, which leads me on to my next point of vintage and charity shop. So if that's your thing, like go explore a vintage shop, a charity shop, like London especially is full of them. I think I've got to the end of this video. It's so dark. I'll show you the exposure I started on. So yeah, those are my thoughts on fast fashion. Well, it's bad, that's just facts, and how, but you know, the ways we can try and avoid it and like not be part of it. And I think mainly we need to try and shift the entire consumer mindset when it comes to buying clothes. Right. I would love, like fucking die to hear what you guys have to say about this. For us, it is such a hot topic and such an important one that we kind of need to like at least realise is happening and realise that we are taking part in it. And like, it's horrible to kind of like, we are part of the problem, but we are part of the problem and we need to be, even just watching to the end of this video, you have been proactive in trying to avoid this, which is fantastic. So I don't want to be patronising a gold star, but I mean it. Like, you're actively trying to do something to like change the way you think about things and just have as much information as possible, and that's good. Go you. I really think that even something like this can make an impact. Just think a little bit harder about what you're buying and I promise you it'll make a difference. So like, subscribe and all that jazz, guys. I make new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys very soon. Bye. speak. Damn, what was my point? What was my point? Fuck, where is it gone? That's why this is difficult to do, because you're basically talking about money. I don't know what to talk about. This is so weird.